David, what has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Could I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Level 3 has begun. Let's do this thing. Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. All right, Rob, we'll get you out of here, I promise. But NFL preseason football, looking at tomorrow's card, there's some interesting games. Harbaugh makes his debut with the Chargers. Caleb Williams set to play. J.J. McCarthy with the Minnesota Vikings. The Viking-Raider game's an intriguing one that's had a lot of line movement throughout the week. It's been all over the place. It's settled in with the Raiders -3. Total's up to 39.5 right now. And Coach Pierce has been very open about it. It's almost like American Idol or something. He goes, we got an open competition, point blank. And he goes, and he said neither of them have looked very good, to be honest with you, in camp. I hope they play better. And he called them both out. It's an open competition. He said they're both going to play a quarter. It doesn't matter who plays when and where. They're both going to play a full quarter. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold will be starting for the Vikings. They have not a quarterback battle. Darnold's sort of keeping a seat warm, Rob, for my boy J.J. McCarthy right now. Vikings getting 3 to me is intriguing. And, man, 39.5. But this does feel like there could be some points in this game, doesn't there?
Yeah, it's got that feel to it, Gabe. I mean, Nick Mullins will come in behind that for the Vikings, and Nick Mullins is experienced enough to get you some points here. I just get the feeling that the Raiders are leaning toward trying to get that offense untracked in this game. You love quarterback battles. So even though that game's been pushed about 5 points from 34.5 to 39.5, I still think it might land in the low 40s. So maybe some space there to play over. I think the play I like the best tomorrow is the Cleveland Browns. Going to lay 5.5 to Green Bay. That game shot up from 4 to 5.5 today. Jordan Love's going to play his series. That's okay. But what I love about Cleveland is at the end of the game, Gabe, third, fourth quarter, when you have Tyler Huntley, ex-backup for the Ravens to Lamar Jackson, and then you have Dorian Thompson-Robinson, you've got guys that can play behind broken down offensive lines and make plays out of nothing with their legs. Thompson-Robinson did it last year in the preseason. Huntley's very good at it. Their starting quarterback situation with Jameis Winston going is pretty good as well. So I think Cleveland's worth a shot tomorrow here, -5.5.
Cam, before we get Rob out of here, you got a game you want to ask him about?
Yeah, I want to ask you, Rob, about the Seahawks-Chargers game. Selfishly, I think, the Seahawks with the new Baltimore attitude, guys coming over from Harbaugh, who's the best ATS preseason coach, and then you have Harbaugh from Michigan joining the Chargers. What do you think about this game, Rob? I think it's kind of an intriguing storyline. Seattle's got some good quarterbacks. I think preseason quarterbacks. And what is the Chargers going to do? We know that Herbert's hurt. Easton Stick can't get hurt. So they have a kind of a interesting quarterback situation here. But with Harbaugh, it's like the Mandelbaums on on Seinfeld. They're going to play their asses off. I find this game to be intriguing. Maybe under?
Maybe under, Cam. Yeah, I would lean toward the Seahawks, though. I mean, what's been going on in Seahawks camp is crazy, right? Mike McDonald is a 360-degree polar opposite from Pete Carroll. And the amount of fights that they had in practice yesterday, Metcalf swinging a helmet at Trey Brown punching Jake Bobo in the face because Jake Bobo burned him. He's brought a level of physicality to that team, and they're not getting 1 second worth of, kind of Pete Carroll goof-offness in this training camp. It's all serious. I think Seattle will come to play that way. I don't know what to make of the Chargers yet with the Harbaugh. I mean, I don't know how serious he'll take the preseason, to tell you the truth. I think it'll be more experimenting by the Chargers than anything else. So if it were me, I'd like the Seahawks here. I like them regular season too, Kim. I think they're going to win over that 7.5 win total. I think they'll get more than 7.5. Should be a good season for the Hawks. I just like McDonald. A lot of belief in Mike McDonald here to change the ways of that Seattle defense, especially.
I like what you said, too, about the fights, and I'm kind of kicking myself. It was a good spot for the Giants last night, having DeVito in there and Locke, but more than just the quarterback, something that Rob just said, teams that are beating the crap out of each other, it's a great sign. What do you think they want to do now? Like when they're playing somebody that they actually don't like. And Rob, a classic example was the New York Giants. They fought with each other a couple of times. Remember, Daniel Jones got into it with people. The Giants were like really jawing with each other. Then when they played the Lions in their scrimmage practice, joint practices, they got into a brawl. And we saw the Giants, were ready to play, right? At least defensively. Like there was an intensity that you could see. And I have a guest on every week, Rick Saratella, who's got he's close to the Giants. And he brought it up last week. He said, I'll tell you, he goes, the Giants camp this year is way different than past years. He said, there's an intensity and it's an angry team. They know everyone thinks they suck, and you can see it, Rob. So I like your point as far as Seattle and that attitude with McDonald coming over in here right now. The opposite of the cheerleading Pete Carroll. Yeah. There's an edge to this right now with Seattle in camp, and that you want to see that because it means they're going to hit in a preseason game.
Yeah, chippiness matters in these preseason games, Gabe. I mean, all these guys are fighting for positions. They're fighting to get the affection of their new head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, whatever. And to me, just, following the physicality of the Seahawks camp so far, I think they're in good shape here against a team where I think there's still some question marks about how much Jim Harbaugh wants to win preseason games here. His track record isn't one of those like his brothers, where he just goes out and wants to win preseason games. So I think Seattle might be right.
And we should know, too, P.J. Walker, great preseason quarterback to have. Right, late in the football game. We'll see Sam Howell reportedly is struggling in camp, but whatever. Those are reports. Let's see what he does on the field here in this situation. Rob, excellent stuff as always, my man. We appreciate the bonus time. Enjoy the last couple of days of the Olympics. And final question, I promise. What we're taking bets. Tom Cruise is reportedly going to do a dazzling stunt at the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. Jumping off the Eiffel Tower is a popular one. I think they're going to do something crazier. I say he's going to come out of the Olympic hot air balloon that they have the torch in that floats around over Paris at night. But this guy's a nut job that does his own stunts in his movies, Rob. So it's a weird tie-in, huh? Olympic closing ceremonies in Paris. So let's bring in Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
To do a stunt.
I can't wait to see what he does now. To tell you the truth, I had no idea that was going to happen. So that's
I just sold it for you, NBC.
Gabe, your bet is amazing because in a hot air balloon, he can go there with a rope and then come out of the hot air balloon and do something. I think that's a great bet. If they offer hot air balloon, I wish we could bet on this stuff. I think that's a great
in
play.
His underwear, risky business, maybe.
We know he's hardcore. We know he ain't coming out of that water, that polluted water. So take the Science River out of anything.
Amazing.
Yeah. Tom Cruise, part of the closing ceremony. Excellent stuff, Rob. Always a pleasure, my man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for
Rob
coming.
Rob didn't even know. Now he's like, oh, I want to see what Tom Cruise does.
Tom Cruise is doing. Yep. I love your hot air balloon suggestion. I'm not even joking. Like they offered, like, what is he going to do? That's what I would bet. I think it's perfect.
Well, it is Paris though, so they have a lot of options. I mean, they were smart enough to have a freaking metal band like in the King's Palace and stuff. So they're going to come up with something.
You see how many friggin' what they've done since then? They're raking it in, bro. That metal band. They've done great since that performance.
Yeah, the Olympics are. It's the most viewed sporting event in the world. It's the most viewed anything in the world. The only thing that's not kind of even close to it is the World Cup. But as far as viewing is concerned, the Olympics is the most viewed event in the world. The World Cup is the second most viewed event in the world. And then you get the Euro is the third. I know people think, oh, the Super Bowl, but these other events are bigger. We're not even including the cricket stuff, which is that's just like next level. I'm talking just sort of this mainstream sport, the mainstream sport events, because the cricket in India and Pakistan, you're getting such massive numbers. The javelin thrower that won, it was pretty cool. Pakistan did not have a single medal in the Olympics, and they were down to one dude left. And it was a javelin guy, and he set the world record, Olympic record. I don't know if it was a world record, the Olympic record. Anyways, he won the freaking gold medal. And they said after, they go, he's got 9 million followers on Instagram.
Wow.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double check. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. Thanks to Rob Vino for joining us on the show. We're waiting on Tony Finn, and I think Tony's lost in traffic on the way from his kitchen to his studio in his spacious estate, Area 51. Tony's got like waterfalls and then the pool, and like he's living a palatial life. Tony's like that mobster, that the Chin, that used to walk around the streets of New York in a bathrobe. He'd pretend that he was like crazy and stuff, and like he'd go buy the paper and he'd be wearing his socks in a bathrobe, No, it's true, Cam. I don't know if you know that guy. His name was the Chin. And
Great.
he was like an old dude, and he would walk in a bathrobe like in the Bronx and in Brooklyn, and he'd walk the streets and he'd be talking to his cohorts. And he'd sit in court and he's like, I'm just an old, crazy man. I don't know anything. I'm just in a bathrobe. And the feds are like, the guy's lying. We got him on wiretap. As soon as he's not in front of people, he takes it off and stuff. He's playing it up. He doesn't want people to know he's like a mob kingpin and he's rich. He plays it down. That's Tony Finn. He plays it down. That's why no Rolexes for Tony. What's up, Tony?
Tony. And what do we call Tony? If the mobster's the Chin, he's the Freeze.
That's not Tony's fault. We were told Tony's there. It's one of those.
He's not Tony's fault. Yeah. Oh, he was. Then he froze. Okay.
Well, there's always an adventure, isn't there? There's always an adventure. Okay, so before we bring Tony in here to set the stage, I'm almost like Steve Merrill said, he's going to be sad. He's going to miss the Olympics. I'm going to go through Olympic withdrawal too. On Monday morning, I'm going to wake up at 7 in the morning. Well, where's the water polo? What am I betting on? But there's always something to bet on. There's always happy hour somewhere. But we've got a bunch of water polo, and this is a little crazy. They make them do this. There's a bunch of games. They're playing for 7th and 8th place, Canada and Greece. Why? Why make them stay? Let them get drunk for the closing ceremonies. Who cares if you're in 7th or 8th place? It's for world rankings moving forward and stuff, and I get it, and next tournaments, but these people are already disappointed enough. I totally get you got to play for a bronze medal, fine, but to make them stay for a 7th and 8th place game, Cam, really? So you got whatever. You got Greece, Canada. This is all women. We have Greece, Canada, Hungary, Italy, United States, Netherlands. That's a bronze medal match. That's a real match. That's going to be an awesome game, man. The U.S., both the U.S. men's and women's water polo team play with a ton of heart. Then you get the gold medal match, Australia and Spain. Women's water polo. Spain, you know what? My gut tells me Spain, and the odds makers agree. They really screw you, though, in water polo with the bets. So Spain are -1.5, -112, or on the money line, they're -264. The total is 18.5. And the thing is, Cam, water polo games are super close. They're often one-goal games, 9-8, 10-9. Dude, Australia and the USA the other day went to penalty shots.
To your earlier point, too, which makes sense, all you have to do with the 7-8 game is look at the teams and go on aggregate. Goals for, goals against, work it out. That's how you finish in the tournament. Then you apply that to the world rankings. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, you know what, though? Now I'm realizing it. Nah, but you know what? They charge people for tickets. They need content.
Yeah. So, you can't just say, hey, I
TV
got
and stuff.
that.
TV, they're like, well,
we came all the way from Athens to watch the Greeks.
You're going to make all these people go there just for Australia and Spain water polo, for one game? It's
right.
We got to give them, we're going to give them the whole day here.
You
get the day. It's like tennis.
Yeah, yes, you get the package. I get it. But
that's some real psychology, though. We got to know, all right, which team is happy to be in the 7th and 6th place game?
Oh, good luck with that one. We're trying to break down gold medal mental states here, let alone 7th versus 8th. So
I'll tell you what, Canada will be into this. But the thing is, Greece are better than us. The Canadian water polo women team, I watch them. They're not very talented, but they have a ton of heart.
They do.
They just sort of fight. The girl got her face split open. There was blood in the pool. They listen, it's not easy that they're even in this thing. It's good for them that they made it to the Olympics, but they're not world class. So like I said, my gut tells me, guys, that Spain are going to win the gold medal in women's water polo. But I guess I'll lay the 1.5. I'm going to end with a bang there with it. And quickly before we'll bring Tony in on the other side of the break as we're coming up to it. But so remember men's volley. Remember my Alman and Helvig. They're playing for the final tomorrow.
Helvig, yeah.
About to close that out.
My favorite guy.
They're big favorites, too. I'm going to hit that parlay. It'll go with the Brazilian women that won today. But remember before the tournament started, we said Poland and Italy would play each other in the final. So we're going to take Poland and Italy, both of them. It didn't work. Italy got bounced, but Poland are in. So I got Poland at +400 to win the championship tomorrow. They are -150 on the money line right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to middle this thing. I'm going to take France +1.5 sets. France +1.5 sets in this game against Poland, and I could potentially win them both. I hope Poland wins 3-2. The total's 185.5 in this. I do think this is going to be a marathon. I don't think Poland are just going to roll them. And the only thing is, Cam, Italy were damn good, bro. Italy were the favorites coming into this, along with Poland. And France beat them 3-0. Like,
That's
France,
nuts.
the superpower of the home nation's working, bro. Look, both their basketball teams are in the final. Their men's volleyball team in the final. They can't all lose in the final. This is what worries me about this one. I'm kind of worried about Poland. That's why I'm going to take France plus the 1.5 sets.
Yeah, I like the way you're attacking it because that's the whole thing. You can get a double result from it and win both times. It's actually a smart way to attack it, and Poland's still the favorite in the match. So no, I got no problem with that. That's smart.
That's why I'm telling people, the people that have tailed me. So we put out, man, we still have about 16 Olympic bets to close out here. A lot of parlays that are tied up. China's at 33 medals right now. We need one more gold from them. They're going to nail that down tomorrow. They've got a couple of gold medal winners coming up. There's a bunch of track and field, but we're getting into the distance type of stuff. But there's some fun stuff here still coming up. The 4x4 100 relays are now. You got the 4x1 100, but a 4x4 now. And you can't trust the USA, man, at plus 450. Anyone that's watching this track stuff sees every one of these track events, there's been an upset. Noah Lyles wasn't supposed to win the 100. The dude from Botswana wasn't supposed to win the 200. Canada wasn't supposed to win the relay. It's always an upset.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Let's roll. Level 3 continues. This is SportsRage. Unfortunately, the Olympics are winding down right now, but we still have we got the bronze medal basketball games. We got gold medal basketball games. And the bronze medal game is coming up at like 5 in the morning. Is that what it is? 5 in the morning Eastern? Let me just double check here. I like this bronze medal game. I do think Germany. Yes, 5 in the morning. Perfect. It's 2 in the morning West Coast time, which is perfect for me. So I'm going to watch this game tonight. I think Germany, I like the fact that it's a quick turnaround. I believe Tony Finn's ready to go right now. Are you with us, Tony? How you doing tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You know, we get done with the Olympics, and I just realized it's that time of year again, Gabe.
There's no engines in the Olympics. There should be.
What?
Yes.
What?
I was actually thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Now they light a torch, Tony. There's no engine. But considering they have BMX, they have flag football coming, we got breakdancing, we got it all.
Hey,
I was actually thinking, you know what?
Breakdancing.
There should be a Formula One in the Olympics.
Why not?
Formula One is it's a bold idea, but it makes so much money. And Formula One is such an international sport, right? You'd have everyone, like Max Verstappen representing the Netherlands, Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris representing Great Britain. It would be freaking
That's a
awesome.
hard one to pull off, Gabe. That's tough.
Yeah. Do you think
they already have
soccer?
a track? They have the Formula One in Paris, like the Olympics. LA does, and you're right. It's challenging, but at this point, whatever. This is where we're going with the Olympics. We're just going to cram every pro sport possible into this thing. So let's get ahead of the curve. I've been saying for years, I don't know why the hell MMA is not in this thing yet, but because of regulations.
If you don't sweat, it's not a sport. Come on.
What are you saying? Mixed martial artists don't sweat?
No, I'm saying that.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Sweat. Who doesn't sweat in the Olympics?
Is not a sport.
Oh, you're sweating hard doing those. You're spinning and doing. Oh, Tony, it's tough as hell, man. Like BMX.
Listen, I'll agree. I'll agree that breakdancing is tough and it's cool. I don't know if it belongs in the Olympics.
Yeah, fair enough.
One of these days, I'll put some tape on of me breakdancing at 50 years old, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, well, let's see. No, I don't. No one wants to see you breakdance, but I almost would like to see you. You don't up in the hospital, Tony. You can't spin around once. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not going to the hospital. But people like me.
I'm going to say, okay, Tony. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to see you. I'm going to see you in 2 weeks in Vegas, and I'm going to film you, and I want to see you spin around on the carpet at Circa and do some breakdancing. If it's so easy.
I think I could do the centipede. It's tough. He's got to be smooth.
Well, listen, there was a girl today from Australia that basically was worse than that Scotty Too Hottie wrestler guy, Kim. You might have been better than her. I don't know what she like. It was a bad she set the sport back. Like people were like, "What the hell?" I even told people I don't want to rip it. I just said, "Listen, give the men a chance tomorrow. The men will be good tomorrow." So I want to see this. And for the record, I got a pick for that. I think Canada. It's been an awesome Olympics for Canada. It's one of their all-time great games. Okay, they've won the second. They're up there with their all-time greatest games besides 1984, Tony, which Cam, which Krusty the Clown unfortunately got murdered. Because he said he was going to give away a free Krusty Burger for every event that the U.S. didn't win.
USA! That was the best. Homer's like, we won again. Yeah, let's go, kids. That was the best.
He said, hey, guys, you're going to win. And he goes, you're going to get a free Krusty Burger every time the USA wins a gold medal in these sports. And then after, when the camera cuts, he goes, I got it rigged in all the sports America never wins in and Russia never loses. And then they tell him right after, this just in, Krusty, Russia are boycotting the Olympics. Right? He's like, how much is this going to cost me? They're like $48 million or whatever. It's like, oh. Because it's true. True, in 1980, because of the politics of the world, USA and Canada and Britain and all us and the Western world, we didn't go to the Olympics in 1980 in Moscow. We boycotted it. And so in 1984, they said, suck it, L.A., we're not coming to yours. And then USA and Canada and Britain all won 80 medals each. We loved it. It was like, we win again.
It was great. Yeah, for us.
You know what I mean? That's what we need, a rigged Olympics.
Oh, it's on. It's on, guys. It's on until the first Monday in April. There will be no sleep for any of us. There's so much.
I'm already living that life.
To start.
Yeah.
The Olympics are in LA. I'd say you can give us a drive, Tony, but
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Harry on the top. Right hand from my boy, double champion. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
United States, 33 gold medals. China, 33 gold medals. It's coming down to the wire. But the U.S. team sports are going to put them over the top. You've got the U.S. women's soccer team taking on Brazil in the morning. You've got the U.S. men's basketball team. It's pretty crazy, all this basketball like that. It feels like it's come quickly, actually. Right after the Serbia game, it's like, oh, they're playing the gold medal in the morning, huh? So, yeah, we got two basketball games overnight. Tony Finn with us. And let's talk about some basketball right now, Tony. And
Right.
USA and France playing for both women's and men's, but I'm only going to ask you about the men's. So they're getting 16.5 points. Is this the U.S.? Are the numbers too high for the U.S.? Or did the U.S. get the scare of their life and now they're going to be 1,000,000% like dialed in and focused after nearly losing to Serbia? What U.S. team are you expecting to see here?
I'm one that's without Jason Tatum. I mean,
Hey.
the mess that team
I got to
is.
be honest with you, Tony,
Yeah.
and it was not personal
Yeah.
against the USA, but I really wanted them to lose because, number one, I had France plus 1,500. Number two,
There you go.
I'm a
That's a
sports
good
talk
reason.
show host. The free fall and it just would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Steve Kerr,
Yeah.
like Celtic fans were about to explode when they were down 17. It was like,
Yep.
yeah, good thing Jason Tatum's still on the bench. And then I even jumped in. I'm like, how is Jaylen Brown not on this team? Think about it, Tony. The Boston Celtics dominate the NBA, and their two best players aren't on this team. Tatum's on the team. He's not playing. They got Derek White on the court, of all people. Serbia came so close, but listen, it's two different matchups. Serbia are better offensively than France are. Serbia can pop the three. They run and gun. Serbia also don't play any defense, bro. France play defense, but are a little offensively challenged. But they do play the best defense in the tournament is France. They terrorize you. Wembanyama can really change the look for you. What do you think of the point spread in this game?
Well, I would say this: if you think France is going to be defensive minded, and you think that they're going to do some scheme some variables that would slow the U.S. down, or maybe frustrate, the divas that.
Which I do. I think they're going to want to slow the game down. Play half court, slow the game down.
Then I think you like the points on the under here. I mean, that's the way I've leaned to going in this game, and I agree with you. I think that's what they're going to try to do. They don't have any chance to go, in a foot race with the Americans. They just don't.
I like the under. I don't like betting unders, but it's a championship game, and like I said, I think France are we can't act like France don't have a chance at all. It's just the U.S. are so damn good. That's the problem. But France are playing great basketball right now, And I think, all it'll take, Tony, is that first quarter for France. If they can rattle the U.S. a little bit, get a little bit of a lead, slow it down, walk it up the court, just sort of, frustrate the Americans. It's a lot of wishful thinking and ifs, ands, and buts. But, they are a good basketball team. They have a ton of NBA players, too. So they're not going to be overwhelmed here. Like, they're not as good. They're not as deep. But I don't think they're scared. But to me, Tony and Cam, a big thing, Tony, is the referee. If the referee gets in, like it is just, gets caught up in the home crowd and sticks it to the U.S., for whatever reason, every game in this FIBA, and I've watched every minute of it. It's killing my sleep, but I'm watching it all. Every game, somebody gets screwed for whatever reason. Like and I'm not saying, there's a big manipulation and they pick this. Whatever reason. I don't know. Is it the crowd? Is it the ref? Maybe he doesn't like the players. Maybe he doesn't like the coach, something he said. But Canada got pinched hard, man, all right, against France. They got caught up in it. Canada got screwed over against France. The Serbia and the U.S., I thought Serbia did get pinched quite a bit, and they let the U.S. get back into it. There's sort of been, it goes back and forth. But one thing I will say, France have gotten a call in every game they played in, Tony. These FIBA refs, if you got one FIBA ref from Slovenia or something that doesn't like the U.S., he could screw them over and make it a closer game.
He could.
I could not agree more. I mean, that is, along with Grand Prix and soccer and tennis, it's the most, it could be, everything's rigged. Everything's rigged in the Olympics, right?
No, tennis is not rigged. Tennis, they have a computer ball.
Hawkeye!
Everything's rigged. What do you say? So the Olympic gold medal game is rigged. The French mafia got to them tomorrow. Come on, man.
No,
they don't have sports books in France.
The ball goes in the clay. Clay's a little tougher, but hardcore, technology is good.
In truth, no, I'm serious. I think it's all rigged, but that's okay. Well, that's another show. The United States is too good for their own good, if that makes any sense. And if you look at the box score, you're right, Gabe. You look at the box score, and if you just look at Serbia, how did they lose? Look at their numbers, what they shot. How did they lose, right? Because they don't play any defense. You're spot on. Now, the problem with this game is that if we go back to the start of the Olympics, right, and you have future, look ahead lines, this line is probably closer to 23, 24, 25 points against France. So, in truth, if you want to look at it at that angle, right? Then
I don't think it's that, no.
Okay.
France have Victor Wembanyama. Like, they do have, they do have players on their team. And the EuroLeague guys are balling. Rudy Gobert, ironically enough, isn't really playing much. They've been sitting him more often than not. Yet I get the feeling they'll use him more tomorrow for foul purposes. Like they'll throw him at somebody's big man of the U.S. They won't have a choice. The French coach has done a great job. We'll see if he can come up with one more game plan. One game plan to somehow stunt the U.S. and at least cover the spread.
Rudy probably will, after the game, will be spitting on the microphone and spreading corona virus. You
ever stop, Finn? Like really? You're not on stage at the Golden Nugget opening up for Gordie Brown here, all right? Like
the Golden Nugget's pretty good. I was thinking somewhere lower grade, but anyway,
more like Jerry's. Something more like Jerry's Nugget.
You're a terribles, man. Leroy's.
Oh,
Tony Finn, thanks. Right, that's why I stressed earlier. We're going to talk basketball. We're not asking for any political. We're not asking for any social commentary. Anything that you think is funny that is not
Well, that's a rare occasion. If I think it's funny, it's funny. That's all there's to it.
You're not wrong, actually. It's factual. If somebody thinks something's funny, you can't change your mind about it, right? Like that is true.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
so
where were we?
Well, I want to move on now. So what's your pick, Finn? You're saying the USA going to cover the number? What's your pick?
No. I my pick was what I originally said. I was
France
going
under
off script. I'm going to play under. And to tie anything in, if I'm going to tie a point spread in with the under, I'm going to play France plus points.
But you like the under, you're saying, yeah. 175 and a half. We were going over the score earlier, and Rob Vino was on with us, and me and Rob were in the same ballpark. I said, I'm kind of getting the feeling 82 to 73, 82 to 70 type thing. And that might be a little bit lower scoring. So let's bump it up to, all right, 90 to 70. I mean, 90, 75 type thing, 90, 78. That's still under the number.
Yeah. 1980s.
Like we talked about 93 points for the U.S. That's their total. Not easy to drop 93 on France. Number one, France are a very good defensive team. Number two, it's a 40-minute game. Number three, France are going to shorten the game. I promise you. They're going to shorten the game. Like, they cannot run and gun with the U.S. They're going to walk the ball. And Serbia just decided to trade buckets with the U.S. and didn't dude, they left Steph Curry open for three, Tony, over and over. It was like, at some point, maybe you should guard him, huh? Like,
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Oh, left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Could I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Tony, man, Superbook, not enough for him. Tony's
No,
like,
not
yeah,
enough.
it's the money.
It's plenty for me. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not one of those guys that said.
We had Paul Bovey on last night. Paul's like all in. I said, how many circa Survivor entries you gonna have? Maximum 10 allowed. He goes 10. Damn.
He said 5 to 10. He said 5 to 10, but he was leaning.
It'll
10.
be 10. It'll be 10. He just trust me. He'll max out. He'll max out on all of them. For me, that's a lot. Like I'm gonna do this the Hilton, the Westgate Superbook one that no one talks about anymore. And I'm going to do the Circa Survivor one. So I think I'll do 2. And to be honest with you, I'm caught up in the Survivor one that I think I'll do 2 entries, Survivor. So,
when's the latest you can enter?
There's $10 million on the line, right? So it's worth it.
Yeah.
At least I have a better chance of winning this than I do the lottery, But it's winner take all, so it's not like there's any other prizes. You're putting your money in and you're hoping you got to win.
What's the final date? Like the exact maximum date that you could get in by?
Before the Thursday night football starts.
Like, no, you can call up a guy on Thursday morning and say, I still want in, and they'll do it?
Yeah.
You have to be there in person to enter.
There's way. Okay. That's just all I needed to know.
Okay, you do. Yeah, you can't have a proxy enter for you. You can have proxy enter your plays, but not enter for you.
I get it. Yep.
Yeah. Or if you know someone there,
or you just give them the damn money and it's their team. It's not that hard.
You just call me. I enter for you, and you won't be able to. It'll be me that has to collect and do all that. Yeah, but at least you're
waiting on a stack of money.
I don't think that's a problem, Tony. But I don't think you could ever run a proxy service, though.
No, I cannot run a proxy service.
Mr. Freeze?
And I do not want to run a proxy service.
No, neither would I.
Oh, I'd be
I gotta be honest. I see people doing that. That's like living hell. Like I get it. It takes me hours to put my own bets in. I couldn't imagine. I spoke to Vegas Matty about that.
Where you slip up? Oh my God! Like things get crazy. Like say you're single, you meet somebody, things get a little bit wild. Like you got a lot of responsibility. You play with other
anybody.
people.
Yeah, I'd have to have a cyanide pill in one of my teeth in case somebody capture me for missing the. I'm sorry, but I'll see you later because I'm not going to go through that.
We've had incidences in the past. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, we were bad last year, so it didn't really matter. But that's why you got to get a proxy. People always say that to me. Oh, I'll get the picks. It's like no. Like we'll trust the people. It's like a wake up call person. We'll trust the people that are doing it for a living. But even they have to do it. Even they have to like put the damn bets in. Like I said, like Vegas Matty is literally in line for like 8 hours. Like he pisses people off. Like he goes with a stack and he's got to enter every damn thing. It's not easy. Dave Sherapet and Sportsbook Matt do it as well. They're into the proxy business. And it's, you know what I mean? God bless them. Someone's got to get the damn picks in. But no, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm too. I'm just looking forward to the process. The process of the whole thing, watching people flip out.
Yes.
I just flip out. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't like the process. The process is actually the process is the annoying thing. But I have it down. The last couple of years, it's the same routine. I always go Labor Day weekend, Saturday morning. I roll into the Superbook. I enter the Superbook contest, have a couple of drinks there, remember all my bad memories that I've had there, and then I go, okay, I got to leave here. And then I go to
we go to the station. We go to the station, and we watch LSU and
that was, I'm not, no Palace Station this time. We're going to go to the Superbook, and then we got to go over to the Circa on that Saturday, but we will hook up, Tony, this Michigan and Fresno State Saturday night. And Texas A&M, Notre Dame.
That's a big game for me. That not that I'm in the game, I'm on a win total on one of those two
Which
teams,
one?
and I'm on Notre Dame south of 10 on Notre Dame.
Notre Dame under? Couldn't just say under. You had to go. Was that the South Bend?
Yeah, that was a joke. Yeah, South Bend.
You know. I do think, Tony, personally, I like Texas A&M in this game, and I seem to be in a minority. Notre Dame are heavily hyped coming into the year. They're ranked like 6 or something in the coaches poll. People have them far into the playoffs. Thing with Notre Dame is their schedule is very soft.
Brutal.
It's a very manageable. It's pretty manageable, Tony. Like I said, this first game sort of sets the tempo for it. Yeah, I'll go over Notre Dame's games here. It's pretty easy schedule, Tony, compared to everyone else's.
Okay. All right. I think that the first game and the last game, I think they're both losses for them.
Okay, hold on. Notre Dame at Texas A&M, obviously, on the Saturday night, August 31st, week 1. Right. I don't think they're going to win, but it's a toss-up. The game's basically a pick 'em. Northern Illinois at Notre Dame, that's a win for Notre Dame. Notre Dame, Purdue is a win for Notre Dame. Miami at Ohio is a win for Notre Dame. Louisville at Notre Dame is a win for them. Even though Louisville are competitive, let's call it a toss-up. Let's call it a toss-up.
Louisville beat them last year. Okay, all right.
All right, yeah, they got Riley Leonard now, though. Stanford at Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, Notre Dame at Navy. Okay, Florida State at Notre Dame, Virginia at Notre Dame, Notre Dame at Army, Notre Dame USC.
I think Georgia Tech's a tougher game, and I would think it's a mistake to overlook Georgia Tech.
3.
Like I said, the Texas A&M game sort of sets the tempo. If they win that, they're not going to lose until I don't think they'll lose to Louisville and Notre Dame, personally. Like these Notre Dame could be if they win the Texas A&M game, guys, they're going to be undefeated, I think, going into the Florida State game.
Well, I'll say
games do you think how many games do you think they lose? You think they lose 2 or 3?
I think at best they win 10, which gives me a push. At best, they win 10.
The only thing I'll say about Notre Dame is I like Freeman. He seems to be a good guy. And he's a good recruiter, but they never win big games. Yeah, they never win big games, Tony. And they always underachieve. It's like, you guys are always hyped. You don't. You're an 8 or 9 win team every year, all the time.
He's gone. If they don't get in the college playoff, he's gone.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if he's not in the first year. He's not.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fights. It was a big night of memorable moments.
Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Good left hand from Rockhold. Right hand right back from Mike Perry. Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Folks, what a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Perry on the top. Right hand from Mike Perry. Double tap. Who's the king of violence? I am.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, so we went 3-2. I got confused earlier tonight when I was talking about the NFL because I was like, I thought the game was a tie for a minute. But Philadelphia ended up beating Baltimore late. So we go 3-2 tonight in the preseason. We'll take it. We went 2-1 last night. So, we're winning more than we're losing. We're chipping away here. Tomorrow at noon Eastern, we got football. The Washington Commanders and the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. The Commanders are 2.5-point road favorites. I kind of like the Commanders. I don't love it, but I do think the Commanders are the play here. The Bears and the Bills are interesting. 1 o'clock Eastern. Caleb Williams will play. The Bills, as I stated earlier, don't care about preseason games. Sean McDermott never really has. When they win in the preseason, it's just sort of by accident if the other team really sucks. But I think, the Bears looked pretty good last week. They were winning 21-17, and they were about to score again when the game got shut down. Can I finish, Tony?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Tell me about you.
So as I was saying, the Bears, and I'm a Bills fan, but I think the Bears plus 2.5 are the play in that game. I like the Minnesota Vikings plus 3 against the Las Vegas Raiders. I like the quarterback situation for the Vikings. Yeah, the Raiders are playing Gardner Minshew a quarter and Aiden O'Connell a quarter as well, but I don't think it justifies them being a field goal favorite. I think Minnesota will be in this thing too. J.J. McCarthy's a competitive kid. You got Nick Mullins as well. Sam Darnold gets the start. I like Cleveland earlier in the week, but I'm gun shy now that it's 5.5. Kansas City and Jacksonville. Andy Reid, man, whatever, and the Chiefs, they always win all the time. So I wouldn't mess with them here, to be honest, in that game. I'll dig in more tomorrow. San Francisco and Tennessee. Tennessee are 5.5-point favorites. Shanahan doesn't care about the preseason, but it's a lot of points to lay. Bengals lay 6 to the Bucks. Seahawks and Chargers. I kind of can see the Chargers and why this isn't a good spot for them here with all the injuries that they have. And then the Saints and the Cardinals, I get the feeling that that's a game I wouldn't bet the under in, that I think there'll be points in. Actually, the Saints have pretty good backup quarterbacks. Mr. Finn, any NFL preseason picks for us tomorrow?
Yeah, I like the call. I like Washington. In fact, I played Washington over in team totals for the season. I like their chances. I like the Bills first half, as I mentioned, because you're going to see the real quarterback. Playing for the Bills, he's going to get at least, I think, a quarter, maybe close to a half. At least that's what I understand. Right or wrong?
I don't think he's going to play that much. Okay.
I still like the Bills first half, and I think you're spot on when you said they don't care about winning. But anytime you get your starter on the field, game one, preseason, much like the Chiefs, they're itching to get hit, to score touchdowns, and I always like them in game one in the preseason. After that, I really don't. I stay away from it because as you mentioned, Andy Reid doesn't like to show anything. He doesn't care about winning in the preseason either, and doesn't show anything even in the regular season. If he gets a lead and he feels like he can hold it in the fourth quarter, he's going to start running the football. He doesn't care about the point spread, not one bit. So that's what I like. Tomorrow I really like Washington, and I like Cleveland's depth. When it comes to preseason, Cam, I bet depth. And depth, Cleveland has some they're a deep team beyond that first tier of their depth chart, so I like them.
So I want to see Andy Reid's record in the preseason. 46 and 47. So he's basically 500. He's coached a lot. You know what, though, Tony? There's a big difference. There's a big difference in each week in the preseason with these coaches. Andy Reid in the dress rehearsal game never loses. There's certain roles where the coaches are great in the second game, the third game. It sort of moves around. Cam, what's your best bet for tomorrow in the NFL?
I like the Seahawks to beat the Chargers and cover, and I'd like a 2-game parlay to plus 102. Cleveland Browns money line with Tennessee Titans, and I have a lean to the Denver Broncos plus 1 or money line against the Indianapolis Colts. Those are the games I'm playing.
All right, so I'll take the Chicago Bears tomorrow plus 2.5, and the Minnesota Vikings plus 3, as we stated. Take France plus 1.5 sets in the gold medal match, men's volleyball. Tomorrow against Poland, although I hope Poland wins. This is just my little mini hedge because I got Poland. We're taking France. I can't believe the men's basketball is in the morning, too. Give me France plus the points. I'm going to live dangerously. Give me France plus the points. Give me the under in the basketball game. And give me the USA women to win the gold medal in women's soccer in 90 minutes at minus 125. USA. Other than that, you're on your own later.